Hi everybody, welcome back to your next instructional video. We're going to jump right in and make our first animation, okay? When I get in here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just fill in some fun colors here. I think I'll do my pencil in green. I'll do my bucket in a darker green. And I'm going to jump right in here into my shape tool. So for this, we're going to do the bouncing ball animation. I gave you an example of the sequencing in our slideshow. Okay, so if you want to jump back there and take a look at that example, I think that sequencing is really, really, really helpful. It shows the ball in 7 different stages of falling and hitting the surface or ground here in your space. Okay, so I'm going to grab a circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a circle up in the corner here. Oh, I don't really like the way how that's cut off. I could move it, but I also want to take a chance to show you that I can undo what I've just done. I'm going to put a nice circle here in my top right corner. Okay. And now we're going to start animating. So we're going to scroll down here to the bottom, and there's some options here. I could add a frame, but I don't want to do that for animation. I want to hit this little copy, this little duplicate button. I'm going to duplicate the first frame because what I'm going to do is take my arrow tool and I'm going to move that sphere or circle in this case over. Notice how I'm not moving it all the way across my page. If you don't see the little ghost image here that I have in the background, it's because you have to turn your onion skin on or off. That's what we call it in sort of the animation world, onion skin, where we can kind of see through to that layer so that we know how far to move our shape. These first couple spheres in this sequence are going to be relatively close together. I'm going to go down, I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to move that over again. Again, pretty close. I'm trying to visualize the arc of a ball falling from the sky. Duplicate. I'm going to move it again. This time I'm going to leave a little bit more space because as this object is actually going to accelerate in space, it's going to sort of speed up a little bit. My science people might be able to tell me if I'm right or wrong. And there's going to be a little bit more space in between those things there. Duplicate, move it, and hey, look at you, you're animating. Now, something a little strange is going to happen in the sixth frame, the sixth number in our sequence. And what's going to happen there is this sphere is actually going to do something called stretch. Visually, this object, as it gets close to sort of striking, it's going to look like it stretches out just a little bit. Does it really? Maybe slightly, but visually, it's going to look that way. I have to move some of my things around a little bit to give myself some space. Notice how I can click back on those frames and I can make some adjustments. And then for my seventh frame, I'm going to do something called squash. So when that hits the table, the object is going to look like it squishes. So I'm going to click and drag those little dots down, and I'm going to squash that sphere even more. When I have my 7 steps here, I can go ahead and play that animation, and it's going to look like my ball is falling and squishing against the table. I could have more fun and really sort of keep going with this where I have my ball come up a different way and start bouncing around the space. But you can have as much fun with this as you want to do and let me know if you're having any troubles.